Hello everyone and welcome back to another build showcase. Today I'm excited to introduce you to the Relentless Storm, a dual-wield build for the first Berserker Khazan that's all about unrelenting aggression. Designed to keep your enemies constantly pressured and off balance, this build combines powerful offensive skills, precise parrying, and swift dodges to dominate any encounter. Trust me, this setup allowed me to effortlessly defeat mid-game bosses on my first attempt. One of which I will be showcasing at the end of the video, so you can see this build going at full speed, showcasing just how powerful it truly is. And as always, you'll find the detailed level by level build guide in the description below. For stats for this build, you'll want to prioritize willpower, endurance, and vitality. Boost your vitality and endurance until you're comfortable with how much stamina and health you have. For me personally, the comfy amount was 30 for each. For willpower, you'll want to crank that as high as it can go. Willpower boosts your damage the most out of all the stats, and at the end of the day, damage is the most important stat. Right off the bat, the core skills we'll focus on are Flash Cutter, Howling Blade, Phantom Sword Dance, Counterattack, and Ruthless. Flash Cutter is the ultimate crutch ability. It will be your best friend early on. Costing only one spirit, it swiftly dashes you towards enemies, nullifying incoming damage with generous invulnerability frames. This gap closer allows relentless aggression and even lets you bypass tricky boss mechanics. For instance, against a certain fire-based early boss whose attacks bypass normal defenses, Flash Cutter allows you to simultaneously avoid the fire damage buildup and continue your assault uninterrupted. Howling Blade redefines your attack chain, allowing you to seamlessly blend heavy attacks into your light attack combos for massive damage boosts. This combo not only deals immense damage, but lightly staggers enemies, preventing retaliation and shredding enemy stamina. Your primary combo should be a swift light attack followed by 2 heavy attacks. This sequence propels you forward and sticks you to enemies, letting you relentlessly pressure bosses and common enemies alike. Phantom Sword Dance transforms your aggression into absolute dominance. For 2 spirit, this ability summons a Phantom Companion for 40 seconds that attacks alongside you whenever you use Howling Blade, significantly increasing both health and stamina damage. With this active, your enemies won't have a second to breathe. Prioritize activating this at every boss encounter. It's the cornerstone of the Relentless Storm. Mastering counterattack is vital, no matter what weapon you choose. It blocks enemy burst attacks, breaks their stance, and fully restores your stamina. Counterattack turns defensive moments into offensive opportunities, allowing you to relentlessly stay on the offensive. Ruthless is a 1 spirit cost ability that swiftly slashes your enemies, building up speed of strikes and only ending once it is cancelled or you run out of stamina. Initially, Ruthless provides solid early game synergy, especially paired with your first armor set. However, due to its lengthy animation and stationary nature, you replace it come mid-game. Until then, utilize Ruthless to leverage its early defensive and offensive boosts. Now let's move on to armor progression. After defeating the 3rd boss, Viper, grab the Executioner set. It is very easily accessible as the whole armor set is found behind a hidden wall in the main hub, the Crevice. It provides crucial fire resistance to effortlessly handle the challenging 4th boss alongside other solid offensive set bonuses. Your next armor set will be the Fallen Guardian set. This stylish armor set significantly enhances your offense, defense, and utility. Offensively, it adds fire damage after brink guards, and boosts damage to burning enemies. Additionally, it offers a 20% damage increase for 15 seconds after activating Ruthless when you reach set level 6. Defensively, it grants a 35% damage reduction for 3 seconds after using the Ruthless ability. As for utility, fire weapons kill undead enemies without the need to stab them again while they are down, which is a very nice quality of life bonus when you're getting swarmed by hordes of undead enemies. Finally, in the mid-game, we'll obtain the ability to craft our final set, the Butcher set. The Butcher set can be crafted after obtaining the scroll from the Nameless Cavern during the quest Human Xylence, and does not require any boss materials, making it extremely easy to craft and level up. The Butcher set perfectly complements our aggression. It's lightweight, which helps provide us with an A-rated agility for extra stamina regeneration. It boosts swift attack damage and notably amplifies Flash Cutter and Howling Blade, which are two of our favorite abilities. Its only downside is that it kind of lacks style. Thankfully, that can be improved when Transmog becomes available in New Game Plus. For accessories, in the early to mid game, use the Strategist Ring and Necklace for a 50% chance to reduce damage by 30%. This is basically the same bonus as Divine Blessing is in Monster Hunter, which might help you understand just how powerful this is. This makes you significantly more tanky if you happen to miss a guard or dodge. Late game, you can experiment with other fun and powerful options, though the Butcher set remains my personal go-to armor. In the mid game, we make a skill adjustment. Because we no longer use the armor that synergizes with Ruthless, we will be replacing it with Wind Piercer. Not only is this ability super cool, but it synergizes greatly with our theme of relentless aggression. Wind Piercer costs 2 spirit and throws your axe at a target and dashes towards those hit. To start off, this ability is very underwhelming, which is why it's perfect we are respecking into it during the mid game, and bringing it straight up to level 3. At level 3, it deals significantly more damage at the cost of just 1 more spirit. It is well worth it. Between Wind Piercer, Flash Cutter, Howling Blade, and just general dashes and guards, this build is absolutely unrelenting, sticking to enemies like an annoying mosquito. There is one fight during the mid game where you fight a difficult mage-like boss who moves around a ton and is very hard to reach. I ended up beating her on my very first try because of this build being able to be impossible for her to get away from. Lastly, I want to talk about the skill Reflection. Reflection might be the strongest ability in the entire game. However, in this build, I chose to forego it. The reasoning for that is that the window for Reflection in this game is incredibly hard to predict. You pretty much need to know the ins and outs of each boss in order to land Reflection consistently. Using Reflection is completely up to you, but if it's your first playthrough, I would recommend against it. It's extremely high risk, high reward, and personally, I opted out of it. However, there are a ton of movable skill points in this build, so if you just want to move a couple around to boost up your Reflection, feel free to do so. For your Phantom Companion, you'll want to use Keshta the Unyielding. Not only is Keshta the very first Phantom you acquire, but he's exceptionally powerful, especially for this build, thanks to his significant boost to your stamina capabilities. Stamina is arguably the most critical stat in the game. When you have it, you're unstoppable. When you don't, you're vulnerable. Keshta's early availability means he'll always be higher level, and more upgraded compared to other Phantoms you find later. Due to this, I highly recommend sticking with Keshta throughout your entire playthrough. Now let's get into your ideal boss combat strategy. Immediately upon entering the arena, activate Phantom Sword Dance. Whenever this ability goes on cooldown, immediately find a safe opportunity to reactivate it. Use Brink Guards and dashes while weaving in constant Howling Blade combos to proc your Phantom Sword Dance ability. Employ Flash Cutter strategically to close gaps or avoid dangerous boss attacks that are difficult to dodge. If you find yourself with an excess of spirit, then use Wind Piercer to deal very high damage, and stick yourself to the target. With this build, no matter how hard they try, they just will not be able to get rid of you. Finally, always counter enemy burst attacks with counterattack to maintain stamina and pressure. If executed properly, this approach ensures dominance over any foe, turning even challenging mid to late game bosses into easily won battles. Now, as promised, here's my first attempt full battle against a challenging mid game boss, demonstrating the Relentless Storm's true power at full speed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
He's here. Release the beast.
you.